Um, Welcome to the very first Sunday morning of Solarize. And if we haven't had a chance to meet, my name is David Trotter. I'm the host of Inspiration Rising podcast and the founder of the Rise Up Business Academy. And it's just so wonderful to have you here. I'm honored that you would take a few minutes out of your Sunday to connect. And the whole reason why I'm wanting to create this is for you. And I'm assuming you're a soul inspired coach, you're a leader in your workplace, you're an entrepreneur in some way. And my desire for you is that you would just be refreshed, right? Because it is absolutely critical for us who are serving other people to stay refreshed, to keep our souls alive and well and just rejuvenated, right? And so that's my hope for each time that we gather here. I'm going to be doing this every Sunday morning, long as I have an access to Facebook somehow. What the heck? To take a time for to help your soul arise and be refreshed, and so that your heart is prepared for the week ahead. That is my total goal in this time together. So I actually am excited to include, and if you see me looking down here, it's because I have some notes here. I just want to make sure that I'm communicating all the things that I've prepared. You know, sometimes when you're talking to people, especially when they're not in front of you actively, like you're just on, um, the interwebs, it can sometimes feel like, oh, okay, what am I talking about again, right? So, okay, I just got these things here. I just want to make sure I cover that. So if you see me looking down, that's what it is. First thing, every Sunday, I really want to integrate and include, I guess it would be the better word, some friends who either play music, they maybe share a meditation or a prayer. And so this morning we had the opportunity to hear from Demi Bernice. And Demi is an incredible coach in Manila, the Philippines. And she's become a friend. And I see her playing songs on the internet from time to time. She's not a professional musician. She just loves playing music. And so I just love that heart about her. And so I hope you enjoyed her song this morning. And if you're tuning in late and you didn't get a chance to listen, you can go back and do that. And I also have a friend, Susan Gorski, who I think she's watching here live with us. And I asked her to read something called the Inspiration Rising Manifesto. And I wrote this several years ago. She'll mention that. And I want you to just listen to it. And maybe you even just want to close your eyes as you hear her words. If you want to say it along with her, I included the words in the description of this video. So whatever, you're watching here on Facebook, you can look in the description of the video and you can read along with her. So let's go ahead and have Susan read this with us.
Hi, my name is Susan, and I wanted to share this manifesto that my friend David Trotter sent to me about 2.5, 3 years ago. So I hope it inspires you as it has me for the past 3 years. I'll start reading. It says, "My life has been inspired from the moment of conception. I am whole and complete just as I am. I don't have to do or be anything else to be loved. This is my true identity. Embracing my inspiredness, I am discovering my unique way to bring inspiration to the world. My life story, wiring, and strengths are my superpowers, and I'm learning to use them with others for the sake of others. I do have access to all the resources I need to live out my inspiration, and I will be strong and courageous in the face of any challenge. My inspiration is rising."
Thanks, Susan, for reading that for us. I hope that those words are a reminder of who you truly are. And actually, if you want a copy of this, I'm happy to mail you one in the mail. Just shoot me an email. Don't Facebook message me because I don't know if I'll get that. You can send me an email, david@insporising.com, with your mailing address, and I'll mail you one out. So, question for you. Do you want to make a positive impact in the world through your business or through your job, through your life? Okay, give me in the comments a yes if that's the case. Do I see any yeses? Well, I think that's true, right? All of us want to make a positive impact. All of us want to do something good in our business, in our job, in our life, wherever you're involved. None of us get up in the morning and go, today I really want to do a crappy job. I want to do a crappy job at serving my clients or customers. I want to do a crappy job loving my family. I want to do a crappy job. Sorry for cussing on the air here. No, none of us want to do that. We all want to do a great job at everything that we do. So the question becomes, how do we serve people? How do we serve people and be at our very best on a daily basis? How do we do that? Like, how do we get up in the morning and we go, okay, I want to do a great job in life. Maybe you don't think in those terms, great job. Maybe it's I want to show up with authenticity. I want to show up fully myself. I want to show up with love and compassion, right? All of those things. All right. But how do you do that as your best self on a daily basis? So I think about two things that we need to do in order to do that. One is just like information. Like we want to transfer information from one person to another. If you're in a job, if you're in a business, you're teaching something, right? You're teaching something. So I see Amy's on here. So she teaches people how to declutter. That's one of the many things that she does. So that's partly information that she's transferring to them. Maybe you will work in a job and you're helping people like Susan here. She's booking vacations. Well, that's a transferring of information. So you got to know your stuff. You got to know where to look. You got to know what to do. You got to know what to teach. That's knowledge. But the second part of showing up and being your very best in your business, your job, your life, whatever it is what's going on in our hearts, what's going on in our souls. Because I believe that what you're doing is not just a movement of information from one mind to another, okay? Because when we're teaching something, we're moving information from our mouth into the ears, but it's going from one mind to another. That's a movement of information. But I believe based on who you are, the fact that you're showing up here, the fact that we're hanging out, is that you are part of a movement of the heart. Yeah, it's not just a movement of information, but it's a movement of the heart because you know that you have the power as a soul-inspired person, as a heart-inspired person. You have the power to move people's hearts. And you know that that's just as much or even more important than moving information. So when I think about my kids, now they're 18 and 21, and this is even more important. But even when they were little, if you have little kids, you're wanting them to behave, right? You're wanting them to don't do this, do this, right? Whatever the things are, don't put your feet on the couch, don't let the dog in, or, whatever the things are. You're wanting them to do whatever you say. Okay, that's a transference of information. That's a movement of information from your mind, your mouth, to theirs as a kid. But if you've been a parent for very long, you know that you can only control a child so much through a movement of information or threats, right? It ultimately doesn't work. Like that's not molding and shaping the child to be who they are called to be in the world. That's behavior modification. What is most powerful in working with a child is a movement of the heart. That when we're able to communicate our heart, our values, the reason why we want a child to do a certain thing, all of a sudden it's not about behavior. Now it's about an alignment of values and an understanding of whatever it is that we're trying to teach them. You guys, it's the same thing when we're working with clients and customers. We're not just trying to move information from our minds to one mind to another. We're trying to move hearts. Yeah. And that's really hard to do if your heart isn't refreshed. If your heart is not in a place of life and energy. You've heard the saying, you can't pour from an empty cup. How many of you have heard that saying? Give me a 1 in the comments, right? Give me a 1 if you have heard that saying. So, let's see, this morning I prepared myself a glass of water. Okay, so here's an old cup that I got here, and if I'm refreshed, if I'm full, right, I can pour, I can pour into somebody else's life. The challenge is that if I'm pouring and pouring and pouring like I did when I was a pastor. You guys, if you didn't know this, I was a pastor for over 10 years, and I spent my life just pouring into other people. And I had this desire to make a difference in other people's lives, but I also wanted to grow that church larger, larger, larger. And so I just kept pouring, pouring, pouring until 13 years ago, I was, you see that drip? It's just hanging. Ah. And 13 years ago, I was basically dry heaving from my soul. Yeah. Come on. There's got to be more. Come on, there's got to be more to get out of there for people and we're going to and all that was coming out was little drips. And I was dry heaving, right? Just trying to get something out. You can't pour from a cup that's empty. And so, for me, the result was, as many of you know, is I ended up 13 years ago having my own breakdown, burnout experience, and checked myself into a mental hospital for 3 days because I had just given so much and I didn't have anything left. And that was nobody's responsibility other than myself. So the only person who is responsible for your soul, for your heart, for your level of refreshment in life is you. It's the only person. The only person that's responsible for me having a cup that's full is me. It's nobody else's responsibility. It's not my spouse. It's not my kids. It's not, right? God, you need to magically fill this thing up. Okay, well, the divine can fill us up, but we have to take the time. We have to allow ourselves space to be refreshed intentionally. So you have people that are coming to you. Can I get an amen on any of this stuff? Is any of this stuff resonating? If this resonates with you, come on, give me an amen here. We're not having church. We're just having a good time, getting refreshed. So um, when I think about the people that are coming to you, you have people that are coming to you every day. You have kids that are coming to you. You have spouses that are coming to you. You have team members or employees that are coming to you. You have clients that are coming to you, customers that you're talking to on the phone. So let's just imagine it's a one-on-one conversation, okay? Or it could be a group coaching situation, or it could be a big workshop where you got a lot of people showing up. And they're showing up with their own empty cup. They're saying, Rachel, Susan, Amy, will you please fill my cup? Now they may be coming to you because they want information. They're thinking it's a movement of information from their mind into their cup. But everybody who shows up to you in some form or fashion is wanting to be filled up, not just with information, but with inspiration. Every single person that you're connecting with. They're not just wanting information from you, they're wanting inspiration. That's every one of your clients, every one of your customers, every one of your kids, every one of your spouses or partners, every one of your team members that work for you or work with you. They're all wanting a transfer of not just information, but inspiration. And you can't do that if your cup is empty. So that's one of the reasons why, the reason why I'm wanting to start here with you each Sunday with Solarize is that I would help your soul arise and be refreshed. But I also believe that you and I need a way to do that on throughout the week um, with intentionality. Now, some of you guys like these online challenges where it's like you do certain things in a number of days. Like I personally love this challenge called 75 Hard, where you do these basically like 5 or 6 things for 75 days. And if you mess up, you got to start over. And it's intense. Okay. But I also realize that a lot of the clients and people that I work with, people that I love, that stuff's too much. You know what I mean? You've got like so many responsibilities with you're taking care of kids, you're taking care of your own parents, and you're trying to navigate life with all your job and your complexities and all this stuff. And so as I started thinking about our time with Solarize, I go, what if we could just do one thing together for 7 days? Just one thing for 7 days that would fill you up? Okay. What if you could do that? So I created a worksheet, and the link to that worksheet is in the description of this video. So let's see. I'm going to put it up here on the screen through my fancy. Whoa, look at that. That's fancy. Yeah. And I also printed it out here just so you could see that you print it out. And I encourage you to print it out so you can write on it. Okay. And so I want to encourage you, and this is going to be part of what I do on Sundays. Not that we're going to talk about this document every Sunday, but I'm going to encourage you or challenge you to do what I'm calling a SOULARISE7. And it's 7 days where you just do one thing that you wouldn't normally do in order to cause your soul to arise and be refreshed. Yeah. So if you look at the top of this top, I'm getting confused here. Look at the top here. It says starting blank, and so I just was able to put that blank there for you to put a certain date. Okay, so like today is June, what is it, June 13th. So starting June 13th, I commit to blank. What do you want to commit to for the next 7 days of my life? All right, and I put that, it's kind of interesting to say, I commit to something for the next 7 days. It's kind of like, okay, that's cool. But when I say I commit to something for the next 7 days of my life, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It feels a little more weighty to me. And to know I'm not committing to do this for the rest of my life. I'm just asking you to commit to something for 7 days. That's it, just 7 days. You can do one thing for 7 days. And why do you want to do it? Because I want to feel blank. What do you want to feel because of this thing that you would do? Okay, whatever it is. I believe that if I can help you change the way that you feel, you will be more present for the people around you. You will be showing up so much more refreshed for your clients and customers and your kids and your partners. And if you can show up feeling so good, your productivity will increase. Yeah. Now I'm going to tell you, I love productivity. I love getting stuff done. I mean, I love it. But I also know that if I don't feel good, I can't get stuff done. It's hard for me to serve other people. It's like dry heaving, right? From the like, come on, get something out of, because my heart's just like, ugh. But if I'm feeling good, if I'm feeling refreshed, hey, I'm ready to do the things that I know I need to do to grow my business. I know, hey, I need to write that email to send out to clients and customers. I'm going to post that on social media. I'm going to reach out to that person that's a potential client. I can do all those things. I'm more motivated to do those things when I feel good. Okay. Now, good's a generic word. All right. So what do you want to do? I want to commit to do blank. There are lots of options. I'm asking you to choose. For me, what I'm going to choose to do for the next 7 days, including today, is I'm going to meditate for 15 minutes a day. Now, for some of you, you might go, 15 minutes? What? That's nothing. Hey, I don't meditate on a daily basis. I do from time to time. But for me, I go, wow, if I could meditate for 15 minutes a day, I'm going to feel more centered. That's what I want to feel. I want to feel more centered. All right. So that's what my commitment is. Now you'll notice below that there are 7 boxes, the 7 days of the week. Now you may be starting on a Monday, which is fine. That's why I put the date up above. You'll notice that I only put one checkbox. It's a little tricky. I didn't put no, like no, you didn't do it, because I'm just going to say, oh, it's a yes. It's a yes. You're going to do it all 7 days because you can do it for 7 days. And every day, just check it off. Yes, I did it. I did it. I did it. Yep, I did it. Now, there's also 5 questions below that I want to ask you to complete before you get started. Yeah, the first one is, by keeping my commitment, how will my life and business be even better? Now, why am I asking you this question? Because I want to motivate you to do whatever it is that you're committing to all 7 days. To go, wow, my life and business is going to be better. So if I'm more centered, if I meditate every day for 15 minutes, that means that I'm going to be coming from a place of real alignment in my energy and alignment with my heart, so that I'm going to bring more wisdom to the table for my clients and customers. I'm going to be more centered. I'm not going to be thinking about this, thinking about that. Meditation is going to help me do that. Okay. Number 2, if I don't keep my commitment, what will it cost me? Now, I'm not trying to get you like, well, if you don't keep your commitment, you're going to have to make uh, you know, donation of $100 to some organization that you hate. All right. Not suggesting that. I'm suggesting that when we don't keep our commitments to ourselves, that it actually costs us something. It will cost me my centeredness if I don't keep this commitment to myself. And will actually cost me a little bit of my own integrity because if I'm committing to me and I'm committing to you and I don't do it, it's like, oh, I said I was going to do that, right? So that cost me something. Number three, what do I need to do to ensure I will follow through on my commitment? Well, for me, what I need to do is I need to set aside that 15 minutes. So I need to actually schedule it in my phone, all right, which is what I'm going to do. That's what I need to do in order to make sure I fulfill that commitment. Um, Number four, who do I feel called to tell that I'm making the commitment? Well, I'm telling all you. Yeah, I'm telling you. And I'm going to tell my friend Jesse. I'm going to tell my friend Jesse that I'm committed to this for 15 minutes. So it's a way of not like making for her to uh, like hold me accountable. It's self accountability, right? It's me saying, I'm going to do this. Hey, I'm just letting you know I'm going to do this. And it makes me go, okay, here I am. I'm in. She knows it. I'm doing it. And then the last question, how will I celebrate when I complete my SOULARISE 7? How am I going to celebrate? Well, before I started eating better, I would have celebrated with like, I don't know, something big and fried and juicy, like a big old fried chicken breast from Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's the best way to celebrate anything, I'm going to tell you. But maybe it's do a happy dance. Yeah, maybe it's call my friend Jesse and go, hey, I did it. I did it all 7 days. Maybe it's I will celebrate by taking a long walk on the beach. Okay, I'm going to reward myself with that. Not that I wouldn't do that normally, but um, uh, so anyway, I just you celebrate somehow. Okay, so fill those things out. Just take you a minute. It'll literally take you a minute to do all this. Now the bonus. Here's the bonus. All right, the bonus is to post an image on social media that represents your commitment and tell people what you're committing to do for 7 days. And then do a little hashtag SOLARISE7 if you don't mind. That way I can find what you're doing. Um, you're also welcome to post it inside of the Facebook group that's linked at the bottom of the description. It's our Soul Inspired Coaches and Entrepreneurs Facebook group. And I thought, I want to do this Solarize live video every Sunday on a Facebook page so that anybody can connect. You don't have to join a group in order to do that. But I think it's easier for us to have conversations about that in that Facebook group if you'd like to do so. You don't have to. All right. So this is my challenge for you this week. Do one thing that you wouldn't normally do. Now, what are some options? I didn't even go over options with you earlier. I told you what I was going to do. It could be I'm going to take a walk every day, 30 minutes. Now, this is something you don't normally do. You want to add something to your routine for the next 7 days. You want to do one thing for 7 days. So I would take a walk for 30 minutes. Maybe I want to spend uh, write 2 pages of journal on a journal entry. Maybe it's I want to write 10 things that I'm thankful for, make a gratitude list every morning. Maybe it's I'm choosing to affirm myself in the mirror every single day. Maybe it's reading some scripture. Maybe it's reading a nonfiction book that's a self development, a personal development book that would be inspiring. Maybe it is, hey, I got a great book for you. Here's a great book you could read every morning. What is this on top of it? Boom. It's my book. I'll send you a copy of this. If you want to commit to read this for, well, you probably won't get it this week. You can do it for the next week. Send me an email. I'll literally send you a physical copy in the mail. Unless you're overseas. I'm not going to send it overseas. I made that mistake once. It cost like $25 to send it overseas. If you're in the US, I'll send you a copy. Um, so you got lots of different things that you could choose from, okay, to do for this next week. So if you're in for the next 7 days to do a SOLARISE 7, will you just say I'm in the comments below? And if you want to tell us what you're doing, it's just one thing for 7 days so that you'll feel better. And if you feel better, you'll be more refreshed, your soul will arise, and you'll be more present for your clients and customers. All right? Ah, I'm so glad I got on. It was some hard work to make sure I got on here live with you today because of all the craziness of Facebook. So, Rachel, you're in. I see that. If somebody else is in for one thing for the next 7 days, just let me know because I'm going to be cheering you on. Yeah. And I'm in. I'm in. Obviously, I'm in. So every Sunday, I'll be joining you here at 8 a.m. live. and we'll be talking about things that are soul inspiring. Now, I will say, if you have a friend, or if you are a musician or a singer, and a pretty decent one, okay, and would like to share a cover or a original song, you're welcome to email me, david@insporising.com, or if you have somebody you'd like to introduce me to. Now, don't be telling me, hey, I know somebody, his name's Jack Johnson, he'd be great. Okay, we can't get Jack Johnson, right? But I need it to be an original video, because I can't stream things from YouTube, because they'll shut my Facebook page down, because you can't do that. So anyway, it's great to be with you guys. Invite somebody to join us next Sunday. How do I get rid of this? Boom, there. Invite somebody to join you next Sunday, and say hello to people in the comments. If you haven't met them before, it's a great way for us to meet new people. But if you want to invite friends next Sunday, it's SOULARISE.me, and you can just tell them to go to that URL and RSVP, and I'll send them the link, and they can join us. So great to be with you guys. I'm going to go spend some time with my lovely wife, and take a deep breath. All right, we'll talk to you soon. Bye.